solution. The goal is to employ technology to significantly expand the number of people, to be able to allow them to tap in to substantially lower cost loans so that they can indeed become the small medium business spark of the continent of Africa. I'd like the representatives from CARE International to please stand and receive our applause as well. I don't know where they are. There they are. Thank you. Now, this last panel focused on skills and the engagement across the entire region. In fact, you heard many of them speak about the program that we put together called Makocha Minds. The idea was actually suggested during our first deep dive in Nairobi, when 20 university students met with IBM fellow and the head of our Almaden Research Center, Mark Dean, and other technical leaders. They impressed upon us the need for mentors, role models, so much so that, of course, the very next day, I asked IBM's top technical leaders to step up and to volunteer to serve as mentors for these students and others. Literally, virtually overnight, I had 100 volunteers the very next day. Within a week, 250 volunteers. Now, we have been continuing to pair those leaders with undergraduate students at 20 universities across the continent. Early feedback is very positive from both the students as well as the mentors. The connections, whether they're made through email, telephone, instant messaging, they do share the experiences and they do talk about the opportunities, which is exactly what we were hoping for. But Makocha Minds isn't just about IBM. It never was about IBM. It was just about us to get it started. And today I am very, very pleased to tell you that joining us in this program are Cisco and FedEx. Along with MentorNet.org, they're going to be able to provide us with the infrastructure that will enable this program to scale. Could I have those representatives please stand and receive our congratulations and thanks as well? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. All right, we're winding this down now to the last of the thoughts here in terms of our commitments. And this part of the commitment deals with the whole issue of government. It came up many times today, many times. Now, we have deliberately tried to focus on the growth in Africa, the economic growth in Africa, but we know, realistically, that there are governmental issues, that there are issues that need to be dealt with from a political perspective. And we've developed and fashioned a program over the years, over the past 4 years, that we call the National Innovation Initiative. We actually started that program here in the United States with the support of the Council on Competitiveness, and just a few months ago saw the work of that incredible corpus of information that we generated and perspective that we put together, signed into law to build an infrastructure in this country for innovation. And I just literally last week came back from the Philippines. We're there with the president of the Philippines in Manila, President Arroyo. We literally gave her a national innovation platform for the Philippines. Powerful transformational tool. We've done this in India. We've done this in Vietnam. And I know we're going to be invited to do this in many more countries. But we're going to invite ourselves to do this in 3 countries in Africa. We're going to determine what those 3 countries are, or so, maybe 5, depending upon how much energy we have, and more importantly, how welcome we are, because we can't do this by ourselves. We'll end up having to do this with government partners and with industry partners. But we commit to you to get them done in 2008 in order to actually be able to build a platform that will address many of these skills issues, will address many of these education issues, will address many of these infrastructure issues, and it will help the countries of Africa find their way forward without having to do everything that everybody else did in the 20th century to be able to get there. an incredibly exciting opportunity. I want to close my thoughts right now for you with a reminder of the base that we have been putting in place in Africa for so many years, well over 50 years. We continue to invest here for good and valid reasons. It is the right thing to do, but remember, we're a business. I'd like to be an mercenary organization. We can only do that if we are a viable business. We've made a tremendous set of commitments to Africa on a regular basis. Earlier this year, when I was in South Africa, we made another set of commitments to South Africa. We made a commitment to Cape Town University to give them total and unfettered access to the world community grid. Currently the largest supercomputer probably on the continent of Africa, to do research in localized climate change and localized climate issues. At the same time, we also made commitments to the K-12 educational system in Africa. We have programs, that start literally at the preschool level, that deal with the issues of math and science and reading, to help people become more facile, more comfortable with these topics before they move into the primary and secondary school systems. We also made a tremendous commitment to the entrepreneurial spirit in Africa as well. Some of you know we sponsor the SME Toolkit with the World Bank. That's a portal that we put together, that we're responsible for, that allows you in your country, some 26, in your language, in your rules, in your regulations, in your vernacular, to get what you need to understand how to build a business or how to grow a business, how to expand a business. We made that announcement too in Africa, and it's our goal and it's our hope, working with our partners, to be able to continue to grow and expand that country by country inside the continent of Africa. Of course, that also reminds me that also a few weeks ago, when I was in Europe, we joined the Kaufman Foundation and the government of the United Kingdom, principally Prime Minister Brown, to announce that IBM was now their partner in taking global National Entrepreneur Week, something that was started in the UK. I think it occurs either the first or second week in November, and that we are going to literally take global to probably over 50 countries around the globe to get people focused on the real spark plug for economic growth, entrepreneurship. It's my hope that we'll be able to do that in many countries in Africa as well. So we're appreciative of all of our partners. And we're appreciative of all of you for coming today. Before I let you go, I want to give you a slightly different perspective. About 4 years ago, we did another major project with a different organization. We did something with National Geographic called the Genographic Project. I want you to keep this perspective. This project is all about not where you came from, generating the map of humankind with its travels. This project is all about generating a map that tells you how you got to where you came from. And do you know where you all started? You all started in Africa. That's the undeniable technical scientific truth. I don't want to argue with you about religion. I don't want to argue with you about morals. I don't want to argue about any of those things. Scientifically, the thesis is Adam and Eve started in Africa, however they got there. You're all going home, back to Africa. Pay attention to it, because in the final analysis, it's not just about helping Africa, country by country, grow strong. It's not just about helping Africans, person by person, become more capable, become leaders, find their rightful position. It's all about helping the globe, in the final analysis, do all of the right things. You've been a